Welcome to ADU1's weekly webinars. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, kind of some news segments we're going to call City Spotlights. And so I'm Helen, I'm with ADU1, also a division of Retrofit 1, and now Balcony 1 as well, which is regarding SB 326 and SB 721, the California Senate bills regarding the mandatory balcony inspections and all exterior elevated elements for your buildings. So kind of any type of construction needed for multifamily properties, where your one-stop shop, as well as single family too. So something that we're going to be doing a little differently now, since we have plenty of videos about all of the general rules and guidelines, we're going to be kind of showcasing specific cities every now and then. So today we're going to be getting into Long Beach and their rules. They are a little bit more specific, but pretty clear. So we're going to go over all of them since they do have some differences from the main state ordinance or state law, because they actually have some differences regarding what zoning you're in, sizing, types, and so forth. So we have a chat also, if you're watching on YouTube. We have a chat, I think, to the right. So if you have any questions at any time, feel free to enter it there, and I will get to them after I stop sharing my screen. Once we're done, I will also enter our contact info in the chat. So in case you have any specific questions, property questions, or anything that you felt wasn't covered today, you can contact us, phone, email, come by our office if you're in Los Angeles, and we will assist you. So, okay, I will be sharing my screen now, and I am pulling up directly from Long Beach City Planning's records, their ordinance that they have. So we're going to go over that and how their rules pertain to single-family homes and multifamily homes. So whichever one you have, this will apply to you. So let's see. Okay. So hopefully you should be able to see this. The City of Long Beach Summary of Accessory Dwelling Unit Zoning Regulations. And these were actually updated this year, I believe, because they had a difference last year, which is not there anymore, and it's actually really helpful. Yeah, it was updated a few months ago, which is really nice, because in 2020 they were different, and they actually considered duplexes under the same rules as single family dwellings for the purpose of ADUs. So I'm really happy to see that they have now moved duplexes into multifamily, as they should. So that's really helpful. So if you did inquire with us prior to June and we told you that in Long Beach the duplexes were under the SFR or SFD as they call them rules, it's now changed. So that's really cool. So an accessory dwelling unit, if you have joined in before, then you kind of already know our explanation, but it is a unit that's either attached or detached from the primary structure, whether it's a single family home or the multifamily home, with its own independent living facilities, such as a bathroom, kitchen, and the communal space has to have an exterior entrance, place to cook, and so forth. A junior ADU, this only applies to single family homes. So it doesn't matter what zone you're in, even if it's R1, but it's multifamily, you cannot do a junior ADU. Junior ADU is only for single family homes. So it has to exist already, or if you have an open lot, it has to be a proposed single family home. A junior ADU has to be within the walls or within the existing structure of the primary home. And it can only be a conversion, and you're maxed at 500 square feet. So again, it has to be part of the home. It can be part of an attached garage, I believe. So if your garage is attached, you're in luck. You can make that the junior ADU and do an additional ADU as well. Some cities restrict, though, that if you have a junior ADU, some don't allow detached ADUs and so forth. So we'll get into what Long Beach says. But the junior ADU for all cities, including Long Beach, Has to be through an internal conversion of existing structure or an attached garage. And you can't share the kitchen or bathroom. Some cities do allow you to share a bathroom with the rest of the home. Long Beach specifically does not. You have to have your own kitchen and bathroom in the junior ADU. And of course, the biggest rule for junior ADUs in Long Beach and all other areas is the owner occupancy rule. So the owner has to live in either the junior ADU or the home if you plan to take advantage of the junior ADU allowance. So for single family dwellings, this again means one home, one unit. Multifamily, now as revised, duplexes and up are considered multifamily dwellings. So that's really helpful. The zones for Long Beach that are allowed are, of course, your typical R1 through R4, as well as mixed use and PD zones, which is planned development. So those are okay unless your zone does not even allow residential use. So if it's something that needed to have something commercial or agricultural, even if there was a non-conforming home, you wouldn't be allowed. But most places are, as long as there are permitted residential use on that zone. So let's see, something kind of pretty important, coastal zone. If your property is in a coastal zone area, we do always have to get approval and go through a process with them first. So, okay, as we scroll down, the beginning of the Long Beach ordinance starts with single family dwellings. So it says that you can either convert existing attached or detached. So with all ADUs, generally speaking, you can do what's called attached ADUs or detached ADUs. For single family homes, attached can be a conversion. You can convert that attached garage, a detached storage room, or you can build new construction as well. So for Long Beach, they're allowing you to convert existing detached structures, like a detached garage or a storage room. You can convert those with a max of 800 square feet. You can convert attached rooms, like a garage, 800 square feet. And you can convert portions of your existing home up to 800 square feet. So that's actually something new, where not all cities allow you to convert existing space if it's not under the junior ADU rules. So this one does, Long Beach does allow you. And you can also build a new detached ADU up to 800 square feet. So that would be new construction, not a conversion. And with single family homes, you're also allowed to build new construction attached. So it can be ground floor or like on top of an attached garage. You can build on top, you can build new construction and attach it to the existing structure. This is not permitted for multifamily buildings, Long Beach or any other city. You cannot add or change or manipulate the existing structure of a multifamily building. If you're going to be doing new construction, it has to be detached with a minimum building separation. So the same goes for Long Beach, which we will get into for the multifamily rules. But for single family, you are allowed to do new attached ADUs. You can build the addition. Again, as you see here, they're capping a lot of this at 800 square feet, although I believe they do allow more. So this just goes into the types and configurations you can do, but you can either convert existing space, attached or detached, or build new and attach it or have it be detached. The junior ADU is described above. You're capped at 500 square feet, as you see on the right, and it has to be conversion of a portion of your existing living space or the attached garage. And number 3, of course, is if you have a vacant lot and you're going to submit plans with a proposed house with the attached junior ADU, you can do as well, but you're still capped at 500 square feet. So this is, if you see here, notes B, this is where they explain how you can do up to 850 for a studio or a 1-bedroom and up to 1,000 square feet for 2 or more bedrooms. But when you want to go over the 800 square feet allowance at the top, all of these are going to kick in. Your lot coverage requirements for your zone, the open space, the FAR, which is the floor area ratio, all of those requirements for that zone are going to kick in if you want to go over 800 square feet. So it can be done as long as you still meet your FAR, open space, and lot coverage requirements for that zone. If you do need to have a larger ADU over 800 square feet. But none of those apply if you keep it under 800. And I believe the general rule too, if it's under 750 square feet, you also reduce a lot of your impact fees with the city, which those can add up. But more often than not, if you can get much more rent for a larger place, then it evens out anyways if you want to go ahead and pay those impact fees, because you can get more rent for, let's say, 1,000 or 1,200 for cities that allow 1,200. Alrighty, so we can just skip over those. So these are just the development standards for the ADUs and junior ADUs for single family homes regarding setbacks. The general rule, to kind of summarize all of this, you still have to follow for new construction 4 feet side and rear. So it has to be 4 feet away from the rear property line and 4 feet away from the side property lines. Of course, building the new JADU, the junior ADU, it's not applicable because it's going to be within the structure, so setbacks don't really apply. Nothing here really you have to worry about. Just kind of 4 feet is the magic number, side and rear, when you're building new. When you convert, you can, as it says here, you may maintain existing setbacks, of course, if they're sufficient for fire safety. So usually if you're converting into one unit, they may allow it if it's on the property line. But for multifamily buildings, we hear this a lot in LA. If you're, let's say, a detached garage is on the property lines and you want to convert it into 2 units, they often make you conform to the setbacks because of now higher occupancy won't meet the fire safety sufficiency. But usually you're fine when it's 1 unit. So again, if you're converting something that's already permitted in there, and it's on the property line, more often than not, you'll be able to keep it as is. If you're building new construction, you have to conform to the 4-foot side and rear setbacks. We get the question a lot about building in front yards. Front yards usually defer to the zoning's front yard setback, which are typically much higher. Those are different from the 4 feet. We usually see 15 feet, 20 feet, sometimes 25 feet. So 15 to 20 has been the average. So in this case, they refer to the zoning. If you are going to build in the front. And if you have space like in the side or rear, they will most likely push that first before allowing you to build in the front. Of course, if it's already there, existing again in the front, you should be able to keep it as is. Height limits, which is really nice for single family homes, that has a much better advantage than multifamily rules for height limits. When you are building a new detached ADU or doing an addition, like a second story, they do allow 2 stories. In this case, 25 feet, 2 stories, or required by zoning. Usually your zoning's allowance for heights are much higher. And we have yet to see any that's under 25 feet, especially for R1 zones. But if they do, and your city says whichever is less, you do have to follow that. But for single family homes, we usually do not run into any problems when we're doing a 2-story unit or building on top for a second story. And in this case, all other ADU situations, which we haven't really come across, is 16 feet. And 16 feet is your height limit for multifamily as well. But for single family homes, 2 stories are usually fine. Alrighty, so now we will go into part 2 of their ordinance, which is now about multifamily dwellings. In this case, at least, the multifamily dwelling advantage, you can do larger units, 1,200 square feet. If you are converting detached, so the same rules apply, you can do attached or detached, but for multifamily, just like the whole general rule across California, they're allowing you to do up to 2. So if you convert an existing detached structure, such as a garage, carport, storage, You can do up to 1,200 square feet each. If you build new, if you just have a large area of land within your apartment building parcel, also up to 1,200 square foot each. An addition to these detached, let's say you have a detached garage and you want to expand it, same rules apply. And as far as attached, if you're converting attached non-living space, such as tuck under parking, basements, garages, or anything else that's not an amenity, Long Beach does not let you use laundry rooms. You can do minimum of one. So if you have a duplex or a triplex, or 4 units, 5 units, 6 units, 7 units, 25% rule is rounded down as 1. So you can do at least one attached conversion. If you have 8 units, 9 units, 10 units, 11, you can do 2. So always follow the 25% rule, and it's rounded down. So if you have an 8-unit building, you can do 2 attached units. Going back into the laundry rooms, because we get that a lot, especially for Long Beach, they do not allow you to use like a gym, a little fitness room, or a laundry room. We are able to relocate those areas, but Long Beach's rule, especially for a laundry room, you must keep all of the number of elements. So let's say you have 4 washer and dryers and a sink. If you're going to relocate the laundry room in order to use that space for an ADU, you must keep all 4 washer and dryers and the sink when you move it. So you have to keep all of those elements in order for them to approve the relocation, so you can use that laundry room. Something else, I'm trying to scan, because Long Beach, something specific to Long Beach, they do not allow you to do both. Here it is, note A. So you can either do attached or detached ADUs. You have to choose. So it says, but not both. You must choose between attached conversions or detached projects. So if you have, let's say, an 8-unit building with tuck under parking and detached carports or just area on your land, you can't convert the tuck under and do the detached units. You have to choose one configuration in Long Beach. There are a few cities who have these rules. Long Beach is one of them, because state law says that the cities have to allow at least one configuration, but it does not have to allow or permit all of them. Like all cities, if you're doing your detached, the up to 2 detached, they do not have to be separated from each other. They can be attached like a new duplex, but they do have to be separate from the main building. So here is something, Part D, that so far I've only seen in Long Beach. So Part D is referring to, let's see, these areas here. When you are building new construction, basically. If you are doing new construction, which for multifamily dwellings are always detached because you can't do new construction and attach it to the building. For Long Beach, all new construction is only permitted in zones R3, R4, mixed use PD, and SP zones. Unfortunately, if you have a multifamily dwelling, so a duplex and above, in an R1 or R2 zone, they do not allow you to do new construction. You can't build anything new or add to the property unless, which is nice, they've recently added this, unless there's no other way of creating any other ADU. So if you have, let's say, a duplex in an R1 or R2 zone with some space on the land, but nothing that you can convert, then they should allow you to do at least one detached new construction there. However, if you have a building in R1 or R2 that does have conversion areas, garages, storage, basements, rec rooms, tuck under parking, they will only allow you to use those conversions and not build any new construction, which I understand. They don't want to change the aesthetics and look of R1 and R2 zones. So only if it's the only way you can. Otherwise, if you have another available configuration in R1, R2, they will make you use that as the option instead. And then here are the development standards for the ADUs for multifamily dwellings. Same setbacks, 4 feet side and rear. The biggest difference, of course, is that any new construction or addition, even of a detached thing or new construction, you are capped at 16 feet height limit. Last time I asked Long Beach, they said that this must be 1 story. However, there are some cities who allow you to go a couple feet below grade, so that way the 16 feet is from ground level to the top plate of the roof. We've been kind of back and forth with Long Beach to see if they will allow that. So we'll let you know if they do. Conversions, of course, just must maintain height of existing building. And when you're converting, it's going to stay as is anyways. So the main difference is the 16 feet height limit for new construction and multifamily, whereas for single family, you are allowed to do two stories. And 4-foot side and rear apply for all new construction, regardless of your type of property. Parking is the same. If you have not read about it or seen any of our other webinars, your parking is okay. It's okay as long as you're within a half-mile walking distance to public transit. Then you do not have to add any parking spots. So even if you are converting a garage or carport, the law also says if you're using a garage or carport for the purpose of ADU, you do not have to replace that parking. And you do not have to add more parking if you are within a half-mile walking distance to public transit. There are other rules here too, like if you're in a historical district, you do not have to, if it's part of the structure. There's other stuff too, but we found that almost everybody meets exception number one, which is really nice. And as mentioned, if you're converting the garage or carport, no parking required. So coastal zone, since some parts of Long Beach will or may need coastal zone permission, something that we have been running into in certain coastal zones, such as Venice and other areas, they are very strict with parking. And they often don't want you to take any parking without replacing it. So it really depends what zone you're in and if they will allow it. But we will work with the city on all of that for you. So the only thing else to add, minimum ADU size for Long Beach, 150 square feet, which think of it as like a hotel room. And minimum lot width, 27 feet minimum, which most lots meet. We typically see 45 to 50 plus. And this is only if you're going to go over the 800 square feet. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same with the state, but those are the differences with Long Beach. So, okay, so that is about it for all of the Long Beach rules. As mentioned, they have a lot of overlap with the state's law. However, they do have a lot of distinctions within their own zones and sizing, like the 800 cap, no new construction for R1 and R2 and so forth. So if you have a property in Long Beach and you want to know what exactly can you do, I will enter our information here. Feel free to call us or email us anytime and we can assist you. If you have a property in any city, not just Long Beach, and you're wondering about your ADU allowances, feel free to email us or call us and we will let you know. We provide some feasibility reports, estimates. We do prefer to meet you on site, of course, so it can be the most accurate and precise. But email us, give us a call, and we're here to help. And our packages, we do all of the services from engineering and architectural design to the expediting service with the city. So we submit your plans, do the whole process with the city, the back and forth, and we offer, of course, full scope construction. And our construction does include all of your finishes and fixtures, such as floors, doors, lighting, windows, kitchen cabinets, countertops, sinks, faucets, toilets, sinks, tubs, all of that. We include it all. We're licensed general contractors, licensed plumbers of in-house engineering. So we're really able to tackle everything in-house to make it as smooth as possible for you guys during the process. So again, feel free to give us a call or email us, and we are here to help. We serve most areas for at least one of the services that we provide. And yeah, just keep us posted. We will do another city in the future. And we're also, again, offering balcony inspections. If you now in California, if your building has 3 or more units and you have exterior elevated elements like balconies, walkways, stairways, decks, bridges, you are mandated to get those required every several years. So we do offer those reports and inspections as well as the repairs if needed. So thank you for joining us, and I will see you next time.